Okay, let's go to board 4.
Yes. Sorry for the technical problems.
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
fine.
once again to the players, I suppose. So we have the board 4 game. On the white side, we have Dystopia from team I Believe I Can Flag. And on the black side, we have the team. Hopefully, you guys are better at chess than at naming teams. So already,
Okay, but not in this game, I think.
Already very strong team names, and I think the score at this point is 1-1.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, I think this game was... Okay, I can't remember. It was very interesting, I know, but I can't remember exactly.
Okay, you see everything here?
Yes, knight f3, knight c6. Okay, the Rossolimo. And here, of course, the most popular move is to take on c6. And then black can take back with the d pawn or with the b pawn. I like to take back to the center with the b pawn, but the most popular move is to take back with the d pawn. Yes, but I like to take back with the other pawn.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's... Yeah, sorry?
We can maybe quickly talk about why white would be doing this. So I think the general idea is white just wants to castle kingside and then potentially even attack on the kingside.
Yes. Do you mean to take on c6 or what?
Why?
Yeah, in general, the idea in this opening.
Why do you give up the bishop pair here? For no reason.
I mean, you have the better pawn structure, and in a lot of the cases, the bishop on c8 is a bad bishop, and there your knight is a bit better. But also, like Kudem said, you can try to start an attack on the king side with maybe h3, rook h2, knight h2, and then push f4, f5. But that's if black plays d takes c6. If black takes b takes c6, then I don't know. It's not so easy to make an attack, but
sorry, we have to read the chat. You hear everything double? Do you say this? What's with the what says the rest of the chat? Is the same problem with you, or is it just twice? Twice it's better. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I had to switch the laptops, and that's why it was.
Okay, someone is writing that the voice is distorted. I'm not sure whose voice or if it is all of us, but
I think it could be mine.
Yeah, you also with me. I don't hear it very clear.
But I hear it very clearly.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not sure what exactly the problem is.
There's an echo when Adrian or Kolya are talking.
So maybe maybe the stream can hear the Discord or the Discord input itself, and also hear you hearing the Discord input.
At least sometimes. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Maybe now it's better. We're trying. I would say we're trying it again, and if it's not better in some minutes, we're.
Maybe you can try to put on headphones. Maybe that helps.
My headphones?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. One moment. You can talk about the position or the game here if you want.
Okay. I mean, okay, white wants to change the bishop for the knight to have the better pawn structure, and maybe the bishop pair in this closed position is not as important as
Okay, now could it be better? We're going to try this. Hello. What's better? Now we don't hear them. Okay, that's nothing.
Okay, that's bad.
Okay. Yeah, I now my headphones are out here. I don't understand why.
I don't know. Maybe you can somehow. Yeah, I don't know.
I now did. It's okay. It has improved. Okay. Yeah. My audio settings. I did you a little bit. Leiser. Was heißt das? You're not that loud now, so maybe that helps. Okay. Let's go on.
Okay. Yes, but white didn't take on c6, and I know this position from black side, and I don't like it if white doesn't take on c6. But okay, I mean, white can do both things. Okay, now after castling, bishop g7, rook e1, and here I think knight f6 is of course playable, but the main line goes with e5, and now there are a lot of opportunities for white. White can play a3 with the idea of b4. White can now take on c6, but now black can simply take with d pawn and get to manage e5, what is important in the most variation, a lot of variations, because normally he has knight f6 on the board, and then e5 is not so easy because it would hang.
Yeah.
But here, okay, there's no knight f6, and he can play with knight e7 or knight h6.
Yeah, and the bishop is not that bad here.
Yes, but I think also you can take with the b pawn in this case. But okay, if white didn't take 3 moves earlier, why should he take now?
Yeah, that's
takes now. Okay, but okay, a3 is the move. Then c3 could be played, and I think the best variation is b4, and I think it was played in Carlsen Caruana at Caruana Carlsen at the World Championship last year, or 1.5 years ago. I don't know. Last year.
I think it was last year. But okay, that's not.
Yeah, because of Corona, it feels like yesterday. Okay, and after b4, black can take with the pawn or with the knight. But okay, I mean, that's only the opening. We don't have to focus so much on it, but okay.
Let's look at the game.
Yes, knight f6, e5, knight c4, and
knight
d5. And here, I know this position with where white took on c6, I took back with the b pawn, and white played c3, because then yes, okay. But yet now imagine this position without the rook on e1. You don't have to move this, because now here c3 is not a logical move. But if c3 was played instead of rook e1, then I place my knight on f6, because I'm not afraid of e5, because after knight d5, if white wants to play c4, he loses a tempo because he played already c3.
Yeah, and now
And
He
now
can play c4.
Yes, and now he can play c4. It's not so important if white took on c6 or not. I think he should not take on c6, but okay, after knight c7, he take otherwise.
You might take anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, lol, sorry. Okay, thank you, Kudam. Okay, but knight c3, I mean, should be okay, but c4 was the obvious move in my opinion. Okay.
e6.
Yes, and now bishop f1. Okay, I mean, here there are a lot of opportunities. You can now take on c6 because now after d. Okay,
Sorry.
First.
Yeah, okay.
Knight take on c6 because after d takes c6, you weaken your pawn structure with a6 because in the most cases you want to play b6 and after a4 a5, and now you have played a6 and this move was useless because now a5 is threatening, and you should play now a5 by yourself, and then a6.
Yeah, you just lost the move.
Yes. Okay, now for example this. That's why I don't like a6. But a6 gives white a few other possibilities. For example, to take on d5. I mean, it's very unclear after this, but here if you play d4 with white, I think you can sacrifice the e5 pawn because your development is so much better than.
Yeah, and you'll also get the b5 pawn if you want.
Ah, yes, of course. Okay, I did realize, but.
Or maybe
yes,
also go f4. I like f4 here.
Yes, everything is.
But okay, yeah, let's not waste too much time here. Yes. You played bishop f1. Yeah.
Yes, bishop f1 is a passive move. I don't like such moves because, I mean, why to play passive if you can play active?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a very typical move, no? That
yes, of course, it's a typical move. But in this case, you had better moves, I think.
Yes.
But okay, I mean, it's how Kudam said, it's a typical move for this kinds of position. Okay, go on, knight f4. I think maybe knight c7 is a better square because I had it in my own game, this maneuver to go knight c7 and then knight e6, because the knight on e6 is blockade the e5 pawn, is protecting the c5 pawn, can maybe jump to d4, to f4.
Yeah, okay, but you go the same route here.
Yes.
Sorry, not the same route, but you also want to go to e6 here.
Yes. Okay.
The problem is now the knight is hanging on f6.
Yeah, that's right.
But okay, white didn't take the knight.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to calculate here.
Yes, and I think here to take the knight is a good opportunity.
Take,
and now take c3, take back, and now, I mean, the development is obviously better for white, and he has space advantage. I don't know how to go on, maybe with queen d2 and then bishop h6 if black castles now, but anyway, white should be better here.
Yeah.
And the double pawn is not so important.
Okay, they played another line in this endgame.
Mm-hmm. But okay, also this position is very interesting because here, okay, here bishop e3 is okay.
Who's better here?
I have white, obviously. I mean, again, the development, because the queen side is not developed from black. I mean, the rook on a8, the bishop on c8, the knight on d8, the rook on f8. I mean, no pieces are doing anything, and white has a potential pass pawn on the queen side if he gets c4, b4, c5, and then pushing the majority.
Yes. Okay. But black also has some counterplay with f6 or something like that.
Yes, maybe black has to play somewhere in f6, but white should play like that f6 is not so strong.
Okay.
But of course, f6 you have to keep in mind, because it's really the key move for black.
Yeah, because he wants to activate his bishop on g6.
Like we see in the next two moves. Now after bishop d7, it's okay. But here, okay, rook to 81, it's maybe okay. And now bishop c5 is, I think, the best move. Maybe go one move before, instead of rook 81. Here also bishop c5. Now it's not forced to be to play rook e8, but after knight c6, there's rook ad1.
Okay.
And now you can't. Yeah, you have to move the bishop, because otherwise bishop b6 wins. Wins material. And you don't want to play bishop e8 after rook ad1.
Yeah, you're right.
Or rook c8, bishop c8. Okay, but okay, rook ad1 is also playable, also a good move. But now bishop c5 is a really strategical good move, because the key move for black is to play f6. And if white plays here now bishop c5, the only way to protect e7 is to play the rook e8. And then f6 is not as
strong as it could be here.
Yeah, with the rook on f8. That's why I think bishop c5 is a really nice intermediate move.
He played king f2 first?
King f2 is, I don't know why king f2, but black wants to play f6 anyway, and now the king on the f line is
f5?
I don't know, it's not good. Okay, here king g3. I don't know where the king is going, but okay, I mean the best move was bishop b6.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to bishop b6, because after here the point is after f6, you just want to take on f6, and black can't take back with the rook because d8 would hanging. And now after bishop takes f6, then f4 is not hanging, and now you can go back with the king and then play maybe g3. But okay, king f2 was such a, I don't know, it was a stupid move, I have to say. King f2 was not a good move.
Okay, thanks for the follow, Sesqui. Sorry, haven't seen the name at all. But okay, Ködem said it. But if you haven't seen your match, it was brilliant, very, very impressive. I'm still impressed, and I've seen this 1 week ago, and I still say, wow, great game,
Yes.
great game. Ah, okay, he's seen it. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I mean, okay, king f2, g3, it's dubious, let's say.
Okay.
But here, you see, it's not a tactical position, but with this tactical ideas, you can avoid this f6, the strength of the f6 move. And that's all you have to try with white.
Okay. Sorry, for one moment, Sesqui pedalism. We already spoke about your match, but we're gonna do it on.
Put it on YouTube.
Yes, so you can see it, and if you got some questions or some ideas, but I don't think that you can play this game any better. So. This was brilliant. This was just brilliant. So sorry, wrong game, but I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem.
Bishop d4?
Bishop d4 is, I think, a good move. And now rook e8. The rook should be stay on the f line, on the f file. Okay,
you said g5, and I really like this.
Yeah, g5. It's a typical move to I don't know what Bauernkette means, but
Pawn chain.
The pawn
pawn
structure. Yeah.
chain. Yeah, pawn chain. Yeah. No?
Yeah.
Because we want to break this pawn chain, f4, e5, that the e5 pawn will be very weak. And after g5, the idea is if I take g5, then I get the f file, and maybe black can think about playing f5, but okay, I think I would simply take back on g5.
E5 could.
Yes.
5 could be weak.
Yes. Also.
And I like the idea of knight f7, knight h6, knight f5 here.
Yes, it's also a good possibility. And now the king on g3 is really weak, because imagine that the knight is on f5 with check, then you don't want to go to the f file because of Abzugsschach,
Discovered check.
discovered check. And if you go to h3 or g4, then are maybe some h5 ideas to checkmate the white king.
Yeah, that's a long way to go now. Black needs 3 moves, but I think it's clear now that the king on g3 should be worse than.
Okay, I mean, we can play maybe h3, king h2.
Okay, then go back to g1.
Yeah, but it wasn't the plan, I think, to play king f2, g3, h2, g1.
That's the thing you want to make here. King f2, king g3, h3, and then.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The diamond maneuver.
we all know that.
Okay, let's put it like that.
Okay.
Rook e8.
Then, okay. Yes. Okay. King g4. Yeah.
King's attack.
I don't know. a4 is an alternative to avoid b5, but okay, a4 is maybe a5 to block the queen side, but
yeah, okay. That's just an idea. That's not the move you have to make here.
Yes. Then king g4, but I don't like king g4. I have to be honest.
This just runs in knight f7, knight h6.
Yes, and then knight f5. But okay, now after knight h7, long term, bishop c4 could be very, very unpleasant for black, because e6 is very difficult to protect.
Okay, maybe with king f7.
But then we also will have the tactic to take on e6 and then take on f6 with check.
So then what?
No. Take on e6.
Okay, take on e6 then take on f6. Okay, that's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, for 2-3 moves it was possible in the game.
Okay.
But it was okay, but look at the game. G3 is, I think, that's a logical move to get this pawn chain. And now G5 is a little bit too late, because now we get this pawn chain, and after G4, my king on H4 or on H5 could be not so weak, not as weak as we think.
Okay. It looks like he has. Okay, he just has H5 now, but there are no pieces that could attack him. Okay, maybe.
And now you closed up the position on the king side, and after knight f5, I take the g4.
Yes.
And if you play king f7 or something, I have bishop takes e6.
And there's this tactic, yes.
Yes.
Okay, and there's no mate, I believe, with king g6 or something like that because of rook e6.
Yes.
I thought maybe I could mate you here, some mating that.
Okay, with your rooks on the 8th rank, I think.
Yeah.
There should.
Yeah. I've got if you do nothing, I've got some ideas with h5 here,
H5,
but always there's rook e6, so I think we don't have to discuss this.
Yes, what I want to say is, if you didn't play g4 check, then maybe the white king is really bad, because you always have g takes f4, and then rook to the f file. Okay, not instant, but
Okay.
let's say king f7. Let's say king f7.
Okay, but still e6 is hanging, isn't it?
Yeah, but now if you take on e6,
you take back.
and I take back.
Check.
And if I go back. And now here, okay, yes, you take on g7. And if I now can take on f4, then sometimes, I just say sometimes, there the white king on h4 could be weak. Because in the game, I think the king went to h4 and then it was a possibility, okay?
Okay, I think we should see the the match before.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
I mean, okay, bishop b3, it's a mistake, blunder, okay. And now g4, I don't like g4 because now
oh, I like bishop f3 here.
Yeah, bishop f3. Not with the idea to checkmate, but like I said, that bishop takes e6 is not as strong as in the position before. Because now I don't know, rook d2.
Yeah, but why not checkmate him? There has
to understand.
There has to be
some d4, knight f5.
King g4. Did white want to lose on propose? Yeah, I thought also to run with the king should be the wrong idea, but okay, if you don't have any plans, then maybe you do something like that.
Yeah, I think probably what white was thinking is that in the endgame you want to get your king active, but the problem is he kind of went the wrong way.
Yeah, and the king on the h file is not so active. Like.
Okay, idea. King g6.
I was also wondering about this. And you probably take on e6, right?
Opposition.
But wait, don't forget that this no, forget
and maybe
it.
Now g4.
G4 I could take probably, or I have to take. I thought.
Take. What's the material count? It's equal.
Equal. But now I don't have this pawn on e6 anymore, and
yeah. I mean, at least as white, I'm not getting checkmated now.
Yeah, that's right. That's fine. Maybe you can take on c8. I don't know. Probably you can do this.
Yeah, but that seems dangerous.
Yeah, but you've got g4 check.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, but now if I take it, I probably don't get enough pawns for this to be worth it.
This game is so confusing to me. Why the king walk? You mean the king walk with the white or with the black now to h5?
I think both.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the first king walk with the white didn't make much sense. Okay, maybe with how Ködem said, with just playing active with the king, but that's the wrong side, and I think there's too much material to do this.
But here, after instead of rook d2, we always have this bishop takes e6. And there it's
here to take on e6.
I think.
But now d1 is hanging as well.
Yes, I don't think that this should be working. You take on g7.
Yes.
Okay, I take. Maybe I play also g4 check first.
But that's, I think, again the point. If you play g4, that my king maybe is not so weak.
Yeah, but I get the d7 pawn with check.
Yes, of course, but you can also get it if you take on d1 and then take on f4 and then play knight f5.
Okay, you take with the rook?
Yeah, I think I should.
Yeah, you have to.
Otherwise, c2 is hanging.
Yeah, that's
right. And here, maybe g takes f4 is a better idea than push g4. I just wanted to show
you
this.
take back and rook d8, but I don't like this for white here. Okay.
Yes, I mean 2 pawns for the exchange. It's not so easy, but long terms it should be decisive.
Yes. Okay, so
Okay,
he
but
played g4 check. King h4,
yes.
only move. Bishop
And
f3.
now bishop f3.
Rook d3.
And here bishop takes e6 is maybe the less lost position.
Less.
Huh?
Okay,
Say?
that's the same position we had earlier, but black has played g4 and not g
Yes.
takes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
And here now it's not winning for black. Black is only slot better.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the
don't know
follow, Marcus. Marcus CV. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough for the win, but yeah, I mean, yes. Without g4, it should be better.
Okay. And after rook
Okay,
d3, this is already lost, or okay, you can take on d4. F takes
take
e5.
e5, and now go to the f file.
You said f5 could also be working, but
I thought because now the king is very weak, and now the pressure on e6 is not longer there.
yeah, but I like the idea of taking on e5, and I think e5 should be hanging here.
Yes, it is. And here, I like. Don't look to the analysis, please.
Sorry, just
Try
did it.
to. Okay, you looked always. Okay, it got yeah. Whatever. I like the only way to go out of this tactical position, because here everything is hanging. f4 is hanging, and I'm threatening bishop takes d3.
Okay, we're waiting 30 seconds and hope to get some right answers in the chat. You can look at the position. What should white play here to not to lose direct immediately? Adrian, in the game, this was already lost, or what did you say?
I don't know anymore. I think, but both players played not
The best moves.
Not perfectly.
I mean, it's a complicated position, and
yeah.
especially the black player doesn't have a lot of time left.
Yes.
Okay, but this position is way more better to play with the black pieces.
Hört ihr mich?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, but I was really impressed by the. Okay, I have to say by the engine line, but.
Okay, knight e4, rook f5. Okay, let's do it. Knight a4.
Yeah, after knight e4, I can take on e4.
Okay, takes, and then.
And then if rook f takes, I have bishop takes g3.
And e1 is hanging, and otherwise the rook on f4 will.
Yes.
Right, couldn't I
That's
also
why
play...
knight a4.
Sorry,
after bishop e4, rook e4, couldn't I also play bishop f6?
And try and go for the checkmate. Yes, it's winning more material maybe.
Okay,
but okay,
you have to play. Yeah, you have to play bishop f5 now probably.
But I have king h6.
No, then bishop g7 is mate.
Of course. I was only thinking about bishop g5. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
bishop f5, and now simply takes, and okay, yes.
Yeah, but
win,
I think both should win. Yes, how you said it. Rook f5. There's bishop c3.
Yes, and then take on on g4 now. It's important to take now on g4 and not one move earlier, because if you take instead of taking on c3, then the king on g4 is protecting the f5 rook, and then I can take back on c3.
And in this line, you can't take back on c3 because of rook takes f4, and the bishop cannot
f5,
take on f5.
Yes, because the bishop is pinned.
Wow.
And I mean, that was the normal, the obvious moves to try to defend. And the only move here is really knight a4, with the idea to kick the rook from the 5th rank away, and then b4.
Okay. If you take on f4, always take the rook.
The rook is hanging.
And okay, if
and I think after rook b5, also c4.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, of course.
yes.
There is no other move here.
Yes.
That's obvious.
But I like you kick the rook until he has to leave the 5th rank, and then you can take on e5.
Okay.
And
yeah.
here, okay, I mean, this position, I don't know what.
Should be a little bit better for white here, I believe.
Maybe, yes, maybe. Okay, let's say the a5 pawn is weak, but okay. White should escape, of course.
It's definitely better than what's happened in the game.
Rook takes f3.
Because in the game. And here, I don't know. Bishop takes g3.
Bishop
Why
takes
don't
d3 is
take
really
the
not
knight?
Okay, you decide. Okay, I give a check and take the rook. So do I take the knight or the pawn?
I mean, both is winning, but I mean, why to take the g3 instead of the c3?
Sorry?
c3.
Yeah, Adrian, I have to say the knight, the pawn can promote to a queen. The knight cannot do this, so you take the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, the g pawn is a potential passed pawn. You're right. But okay, rook f5. Let's look at the game. Takes, take e1. And here it should be easy to win this, but not as easy as without the knight.
That's right. Did he make any mistake, or I think we should just go through this and.
Okay, e6 was, and now okay. I mean, if you play bishop f5, it's maybe playable, but with the right technique, I think black should win. But it's really not so easy at all. Not easy at all. But
with the opposite colored bishops, I think white has.
Okay, but I mean the opposite colored bishops, I think, should be fine for black, because with the rook I can sometimes threatening mate, and you can't do anything with your bishop.
Yeah, sure, but it's still annoying. Like, it's not so easy to break through.
Yes, okay, maybe you're right. But with the rook, I mean, I somehow have to get to the d line, maybe rook e8, d8, and then or rook e5, king g4, rook d5, and then go to d1, and then try to collect the pawns on the queen side. I mean, okay, it's not easy.
I would say
let's draw. But my feeling is that black should win.
Let's just say that if he takes the knight, it's over on c3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was easier.
Okay.
Okay, and in the game, I mean, after bishop d5, the bishop.
It's just saying, yeah.
Yes.